Hey guys, welcome to this video. In this video, I'll be discussing the different types of gearbox and its working. So basically, there are different types of gearbox, namely simple planetary, compound planetary, and hybrid. But for the purpose of this video and the gearbox used in our car Orca till now is basically a simple planetary gearbox. So we'll be covering the working of that in this video. The rest will be covered in individual separate videos. So basically, what's a simple planetary simple planetary gearbox? So a simple planetary gearbox, as the name suggests, has a sun. So this is the sun gear and has planets attached to it with a ring gear on the periphery. This, as you can see, all of them are in a free motion. Actually, in the gearbox, what we do is we keep the ring gear held stationary. So basically, here there's a sun, 3 planets and a ring gear enclosing it. Next, we have the exploded view of the gearbox used in Orca. Orca is the IIT Bombay's race car which took part in Formula Student 2016. So we'll come to the details in a moment. In fact, wait, let me explain you the basic terminology. We'll start from here. So this is basically the sun gear. This is the input casing. So sun gear is connected to the planet gears. This is where the planet gear rests. This is the view of the planet gear. And this is the exploded view of the planet gear. So planet gear is basically the planet, a planet shaft and a dowel pin connected to it to keep it stationary basically. So over here the 3 planets are connected. This is the ring gear. These are O-rings. O-rings are basically plastic or rubber sort of a material which prevents oil leakage. All those details will be covered later. These are the 3 planets and this is the planet carrier. Planet carrier is attached to the output shaft. I'll be explaining their meaning in a moment. And these are the 2 casings. This is the input casing and this is the output casing. Now let us come to the working. So how does it work? So actually what happens is the ring gear is attached to the input and output casing which do not rotate. So the ring gear is held stationary. Now there is a sun gear and a planet gear. So what we do is the input shaft is the one which comes from the motor as we had discussed in the previous video. Input shaft is basically connected to the planet gears. Planet gears revolve around the sun gear, along the ring gear. This is basically pure rolling at 2 points. See, one is pure rolling at this point of contact and the other is pure rolling at this point of contact. Now as you see, sun gear is essentially the input shaft which is at a very high RPM. And these are the planets. Now planets have 2 types of motions. One is the rotation about their own axis, as we can see here. Here we can see it's in the anti-clockwise direction. And there is a revolution around the sun, which as we can see is in the clockwise direction, which is the same as the sun gear, but at a smaller angular velocity. What we are interested is this motion. We are not interested in the rotation about their own axis. So what we do is we connect a planet carrier. We connect a planet carrier over these planets such that it only captures the revolution. See here, this is the planet carrier. Now as these planets will rotate, due to their connection over here, the planet rotates. Planet is connected further up to the output shaft. As the planet carrier rotates, the output shaft rotates at a smaller angular velocity. Thus we achieve a smaller angular velocity, and due to tau omega being constant, you get a high torque outside. So this is essentially what we can say a simple gearbox working is. Now what happens is that this output shaft through the tripod joint is connected to the drive shaft and it completes the power transmission through the gearbox. Now wait, now this picture is the basic nomenclature of a gear set. That is, there is an imaginary circle, this pitch circle. This is the pitch circle and it's an imaginary circle. There's no, let's say, exact point which you can call as a pitch circle, but it's an imaginary circle along which the pitch of a teeth is measured. Addendum and dedendum are measured from the pitch circle. So this distance is the addendum and this distance is the dedendum. Next what we have is the pressure angle. So this is the pressure angle which is always, not always, but yeah, it's for our purposes it's 20 degrees always. So basically what happens is that what we want is a constant angular velocity. Now for a constant angular velocity, there is a special gear profile which is the involute profile. So in the involute profile, what happens is that you have a constant direction of line of action. So this here is the line of action, which is basically the contact between the two teeth, and the angle which it makes with the horizontal is essentially the pressure angle. So that's it for today, but in a later video I'll be explaining why do we choose an involute profile, the Lewis theory, and the working of gears in general, the stress distributions, the stress concentrations, and how do we prevent it by filling and all those things. So that's it for today, and meet you the next time. Bye bye.